Hey, Redeeming Grace Church family and friends, Pastor Josh here with the weekly update for November 28th, 2022. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, giving praise to God for all of his good gifts towards us. Hopefully you enjoyed some time with friends and family, and I hope it was a good one. A few things for you. First is that we do plan to have a Christmas Eve service at the Journey Museum at 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve, which is a Saturday. We decided to go before the dinner hour just so that everybody could still kind of not disrupt their dinner plans and still enjoy the Christmas Eve activities that they have planned. Christmas Eve is also a wonderful time for maybe people who are not typically churchgoers to be invited to church. There's still a little bit of a cultural openness to attending church on Christmas Eve, and so we want to have that service. We want you to encourage people, coworkers, family members, friends, neighbors to join you on that day. It will be a family service, so there won't be any childcare, and it'll be a little bit shorter service, but it'll be very focused on the incarnation and really the culmination of our Advent series, God Visited Us. So it's going to be a special day. We hope that you'll make it part of your plans and that you'll plan to be there. It'd be wonderful to have our whole church family there and to have them have each of you invite people to come and attend that special gathering. We are not going to have a Christmas Day service. We're going to encourage everyone to still attend church. We're not wanting to cancel church, but we are going to team up and do a joint service with our mother church, South Canyon Baptist, and it'll be held at their place there. So still would encourage all of you to continue to make the Lord's Day a priority, especially on Christmas, to go ahead and make that part of your plan, but to join up at South Canyon. Part of the reason why we did that, why we chose to do that as an elder board, was we felt like that was kind of a big ask to ask the Journey Museum to have a staff person there Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. So we thought, you know what, let's join up with our mother church. Let's do a joint service together and not ask for Christmas Day and allow their staff to not have to accommodate us on that day. So that's why we decided to do it. So encourage you to plan on being at South Canyon, and maybe we can all sit together or something and enjoy kind of a joint service with our mother church at South Canyon Baptist. That's at 3333 West Chicago Street on the west side of town. So that will be wonderful. Also, we will have worship on Sunday morning at the Journey Museum on New Year's Day, January 1st. And what we're going to do is not have any growth classes. We're going to have a simple service, no childcare. And what we'll do is we'll do a brunch. So we'll encourage everyone to bring some sort of breakfast dish. And at 10 o'clock, we'll eat. And then at about 10:30 at our normal service time, we'll sing some songs. We'll have a short devotional. We'll pray. And then I want to open it up for testimonies. So if there's something that God has done in the past year in 2022 that really would be edifying and encouraging for others to hear, and you're willing to share it, that would be wonderful for us to spend a bulk of that time together, just sharing about how God has been gracious to us and the ways that we have seen him work in our church and in our families, in our lives this past year. So that will also basically be our third birthday. We started January 5th of 2020 as a church, and so we always mark that first Sunday in January as our birthday. So praise God, we've made it 3 years. It's been a wild 3 years, not been an easy 3 years, but I am so grateful for the church that God has assembled together. Grateful for, even though we're a young church, we're growing and we're maturing and we're settling into good rhythms and good habits and a good culture of Christ-likeness among us, and I'm excited to see where that goes. So we will be celebrating the fact that that's basically our third birthday on New Year's Day. So praise God for that. Also, I'll just throw out that if there's other things that you would love for us to do as a church during this Christmas season, maybe there's some holiday parties, maybe some fellowship things, maybe some recreational, maybe some service projects. At this point, we don't have a lot planned, and if that's the kind of thing that you have a passion for, I would encourage you to just step up and lead it and let me know. I'd be happy to promote it for you and equip you to do it. I'm not going to, just in light of all the things that are going on in my life, try to coordinate every single thing. In fact, it's much better when it bubbles up and I just get to kind of equip and promote the things that the body wants to do. So if there's some things that you're going, man, I wish our church did this, maybe just put it together and promote it. And maybe there would be others in our church that would love to join you on that. So we would love kind of a grassroots those ideas to really bubble up and not be sort of top down and sort of run by Josh. It goes better if you do that. So the last thing is that during this Christmas season, the denomination of churches that we're a part of, the Southern Baptist Convention, has a tradition of doing a Christmas offering to help support international missions. It's named after Lottie Moon, Charlotte Moon, who was a missionary back in the late 1800s, early 1900s to China. And she's just a tiny little woman, 4'10", never married, and just served amazingly as a missionary in China, and was a massive proponent for churches giving generously at Christmas time to missions. And so just to honor her, this annual missions offering has been named after her, the Lottie Moon Christmas offering. And so we would love to participate in that. And we did last year. We contributed, I can't remember off the top of my head how much we contributed, $5,000 I think it was. And so if you, especially as Giving Tuesday is tomorrow and this generosity of the Christmas season, year-end giving, let me encourage you to consider giving towards the Lottie Moon Christmas offering. Every penny that comes in for that goes straight to the field to support ministries and missions in some of the hardest places around the world. Our convention of churches has the largest missions force in the world. Something like 4,000 missionaries, I think is right, on the mission field. And the Southern Baptist Convention's International Mission Board is the primo. It's the best. It's the Cadillac of missions organizations. And one of the key things is that our denomination is known for its generosity towards missions, which allows missionaries to stay on the field and not have to come back and do tons of fundraising. So that's one of the sweet things, is that an offering like this allows us to partner with all these other churches to get this massive missions force and to take the stress of having to raise funds off of them. Once they're approved as a missionary, they're held accountable, they're supported, they're given health insurance and all the things that they need to support themselves on the field. And this missions offering is a huge part of how we're able to do that in a way that allows them to be most effective on the field. So I would just ask you to consider praying about giving some sort of contribution to that. You can click on our website and click on giving, and you'll see that there are two funds that you have the opportunity to give to. One is just our general fund, which is just where all of our giving goes. The other is for church planting and missions, and everything that's given between now and the end of the year will go towards that missions offering. So go ahead and assign that if you give online in that way. If you want to give via check, then just write the check out to Redeeming Grace Church, but then put in the memo line Lottie Moon Christmas offering or missions offering or something like that, so that we know that it goes towards that. And then once we collect all that, we'll cut one big check and send that off to the International Mission Board. So we would love to be a part of that. Would love to have a culture of generosity, particularly towards the advance of the gospel to places where nobody's heard the gospel before. And we have an opportunity to do that through the connections that we have in our denomination. So consider that. So I love you. Let me know if there's some way I can be praying for you, supporting you, encouraging you. Let me know if there's anything that you would love some help on. If you want some recommendations on books to give people, or you want just whatever it is that I can do to serve you and encourage you in your walk with Jesus, I'd be happy to do. Love you. Have a great week, and we'll see you Sunday.